This is Tim with Death by Metal STL, and I'm talking to...
Hey, it's Margarita Monet from Edge of Paradise.
There we go. Awesome, definitely. The first question of it is that tell me about your band. Tell me how you guys met, how you guys came up with the name, and so forth.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me. We came up with a band, Dave and I. Dave is a guitar player. We formed the band over 6 years ago now, and I met Dave working on a different project in Los Angeles with a LA-based producer. And before, Dave had a band that was fronted by Robin McCauley. And Robin went on tour with Survivor, so Dave was looking for a singer, and I wasn't looking for a project. Basically we had similar visions. We wanted to create something and take it all the way. And, when we met, we clicked, we worked really great together, and we decided to start our own band, and that's how Edge of Paradise was formed. And the way we came up with the name, so we live in Los Angeles, and it's kind of, people perceive LA as some sort of a paradise, and, it's always sunny here, and we have palm trees and the beach, but it could be deceiving. It's very hard to, stay, basically everyone sort of lives on the edge here,
right.
And if one wrong move and you're off the edge, and it's
right.
very hard to get back on. So that's kind of where the name came from. Yeah, and we have 3 CDs out now, and we're just doing our thing. We toured over 45 states, and we have some new music coming out pretty soon. So, yeah.
Have you ever been to St. Louis touring?
Have I ever what?
Have you ever been to St. Louis when you toured?
Oh, St. Louis. We drove through St. Louis, but we never played in St. Louis yet, so that's on our to-do list. We're definitely going to come there, hopefully this year.
Have you guys done Europe? Have you done Canada? Have you done South America? And have you done festivals at all? We
have done... So last year, we made a European debut in Netherlands. That was a festival, the metal festival.
Yeah.
And we played with Delane. That was our first out-of-the-country show. But other than that, we haven't been outside of U.S. yet. And we're, this year we are working on another European tour and also some Canadian dates. So, we're going to branch out.
And what is, as far as like the album artwork and as far as like how long it takes to do the album and stuff like that, who does all that? Who does the artwork and how long does it take to do an album?
So we're always writing new music and we're always trying to record new songs because our sound is evolving and we want to keep putting out new content. I would say usually it takes about a month to get a song done, and our music is very layered. We've really put a lot of time and effort into every song, and our last CD, Immortal Waltz, which was produced by Michael Wagner, overall I think it took about maybe 2 years to write the songs and record them. The Alive CD that came out last year in March, it took about over a year, and it takes that long just because we don't just go to the studio and knock out a bunch of songs. We keep writing music, but we're also touring in between. So regarding album art, we have an amazing artist. His name is Timo Wars, and he's out in Germany. And he's been creating album art for us over the last 2 CDs. And, it's always awesome to work with someone else just because they bring, their own vision. when they get inspired by the music. So just been really amazing to work with. And right now we're actually working on new music with Mike Plotnikoff and Chuck Johnson. So expect the goal is to release another album at the end, to have it ready at the end of summer, and
Right.
We'll have more information on the release date pretty soon. So.
What's some of the names of the bands that you toured with?
Well, we've played shows with Papa Roach, with Delaine, with Funches, with Camelot. We haven't really toured with a band per se. We usually, in the past, our tours consisted of us, going to a certain place and getting local bands to open, or we played with, local artists.
Right.
So this year we're, definitely looking to team up with another band and, do a full string of dates.
And as far as the where can everyone get the CDs and shirts and merch? Where does everyone go to get that?
The best way to do it is go to our website, which is editparadiseband.com, and we have a store link over there. So we have our CDs, shirts, we have 6-year anniversary books, and anything you buy from that store, we will sign and personalize it for you. And to get our Immortal Walk CD, you have to go to Pure Steel Records website. Of course, our music is on iTunes and Amazon and wherever else to get your music. So, also we love hearing from people. So, stop by our social media pages and say hello. Just type in "I Just Paradise" and you will find us.
Definitely. What's growing up? What was some of your inspirations? What was somebody you looked up to lead you into getting into a band and singing and stuff like that?
So honestly, I grew up on classical music. I was pianist my whole life, and I also did theater and dance, and my life was kind of classical music and some musical theater. But then later on in my teenage years, I kind of got more into Led Zeppelin and Queen, and then later on, I really liked Marilyn Manson and Korn and Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden. I would say, I love Ronnie James Dio. I think he was an amazing artist and singer. So he's definitely one of my influences.
Cool.
But I think the cool thing about the music is because Dave, the guitar player, when we write songs together, he really brings the heavy metal element because he's a heavy metal guy,
right.
And I bring more different kind of flavor to it, and then we blend the styles together, and then put more put some industrial edge on it, maybe a bit of a symphonic edge, and music kind of evolves into what it is.
That's cool, definitely. Because like I said before, when I heard your music, I really liked it a lot. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't like it's different, but it was his own little breed of music. I mean, a lot of times you listen to bands nowadays, it's a cookie cutter thing, and they all kind of sound the same. But yours it didn't sound the same. It was really kind of unique, so forth. But
cool, thank you. That's a big compliment to us.
You're welcome.
Very much.
Are you guys endorsed by any companies at all?
Yes, TPM Guitars, and recently we actually played NAMM Jam for them last week. So they're an amazing guitar company. They're made in Palm Desert, so made in the USA, and Lance Benedict, who's the owner of the company, he's really awesome. And Dave actually will have a signature model pretty soon.
Really?
So we're really excited to be working with them. And also 3D Rockstars, they're really cool. It's a print company, and they make vinyl cutouts of pretty much anything, but also your favorite rock stars, and you can get them in any sizes.
Right.
And then, we also have some brands that we work with, like Telefunken microphones and Kemper amps. soul tone cymbals. So, yeah, also Alvain for leather. He makes really cool leather items, and also, there's so many, so many cool bands out there. And we're lucky to partner up with them and, spread the word and just, lots of people with great ideas. So
That sounds awesome, definitely. So what's the next place that you're going to be playing?
Well, right now, recently we actually played 4 shows in the last 2 weeks. We did the House of Blues show with Metal Allegiance, and we're taking a few months, maybe about a month or two break, just to focus on getting some new songs recorded, and also filming a music video for one of the singles, Face of Fear. So we're going to be doing that, and we'll be announcing shows for spring and summer pretty soon.
And as far as like what do you do? What's some of your hobbies that you don't do during when you're actually writing albums and touring? What do you do in your off time?
Well, I don't have that much off time, but I love to draw. I love to make art, and I've actually made some artwork that was for sale, and anything that involves art, I'm all about it. So I like doing that. I love nature. I love traveling, and that's one of the really cool things about being in a band is that
Right.
we get to see really cool places and meet amazing people. I think people are so interesting, and they all have, everyone has their own outlook on life, and it's amazing to be able to talk to people from all over the world. And honestly, being in a band really requires 24/7 of work, because there's so much to do. There's so much behind the scenes to do that people may not realize. But when I get in it, I like to draw, travel, or check out new places and just kind of enjoy nature and spend time with family and friends. So yeah.
As far as like going on tour and stuff like that, what's some of the places that you really like playing?
Well, the recent one, all of us absolutely fell in love with Amsterdam. And Netherlands, it's such a beautiful country with amazing people, and people are so supportive in there. I think they're really into music, especially rock and metal over there. And we were kind of stunned because we were staying in Eindhoven, that's where the festival was, and we walked out, and they had and there was like a street market, and it was full of albums and vinyls, and it was just like the whole street, and you never really see that in the U.S. anymore.
Right.
And the people are really into it, and it's just a bit of a different life there. Everyone is on their bicycles, and even like we were, driving there. For us, was a bit stressful because the streets are so narrow and it's very crowded. We almost ran over a, cyclist, and he just smiled at us and apologized, even though we almost ran over the poor guy. So, it's a bit of a different life over there. And, that was a really fun trip for us. We'll love going everywhere. In Texas, we went to Colorado. It was really beautiful. I love New York. I lived there for a bit, and we played a show there about 2 years ago. That was a really fun trip. But, recently Amsterdam was the most memorable.
As far as being a female-fronted musician, what's some of the perks and what's some of the hardest things that you have to deal with on tour?
Perks. Well, I don't know how to answer it because I can't really compare it to being a male in the band. But I would say the hard thing about it is sometimes, not always, but generally in metal, maybe not so much anymore, but it was viewed as, girls can't rock, or, something like that. Like, what is the girl doing in metal? So sometimes you really have to prove yourself. And that's why when we started this band, we really wanted to focus on the music and not, me being, the focal point,
Right.
like as a basically like a visual focal point.
Right.
We really wanted the music to do the talking. So, at times it's hard to just kind of get people to listen to the music and not just dismiss it as another female-fronted band. And I think right now it's like a new genre, female-fronted metal. And, it's not really a good or bad thing. It's just music is music. And I just want people to listen to it and check it out as, music and not just kind of generalize it right away just because I'm a female.
Right. Well, I think I'm sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
Oh.
No, I just wanted to say, but, other than that, there was not really any hardships or anything like that. We all have amazing bandmates and we all get along and treat each other equal. So it's all good.
Well, I think with a female, and I've always thought this, it takes a very talented male musician, but females have wider ranges, I think, vocally. And I think that playing music, you guys have a little bit more of an advantage, I believe, because of notes and what you can do and what you can't do, if that makes any sense. And so...
Yeah.
Sometimes, like I said before, I asked the question and a lot of people are just like, well, perks of this and whatever. But it's like with the music industry, obviously other than like, you have your fans and things like that you're dealing with vocally and producing the music and making the music, sometimes it's a little bit maybe easier or you have a lot more to play with rather than just a regular screaming and doing whatever you're doing. You can actually sing and do, you can actually put a lot into it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And also it comes down to, I guess, the music use. I think the main thing, especially in rock and metal, is just to convey emotion or what the message of the song is through the words. And because, pop music is more, produced and more about, sounds and just that sort of thing. I think rock has just really tried to get to the core of someone, else's, basically it's kind of like you're communicating with people. So, to me, the most important thing is to just really try to put the emotion into the song. So...
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before, I think some people have problems with female-fronted bands and some people whatever. My personal opinion, I don't give a shit. I think that it does not matter who you are, what you are, or why. If you can sing, you should sing. That's just the whole point. And I think that some people are still in that nostalgia of like, oh, well, that shouldn't, or blah, blah, blah. You can live in the Stone Age all you want, but there's some very, very talented human beings from the birth of music that have been female-fronted musicians. And it's just, it's an amazing thing. But with your voice and your band, my personal opinion, like I said before, and it's just my opinion, and that's why I reached out to you, but you guys are a very, very talented band. You're a very talented band.
Thank you.
And you have a great list of, you're welcome, and you have a great list of, on your resume of bands that you've opened for or played with. And I say this all the time. We get stuff throughout our emails. I get press releases. I get all sorts of stuff. You have no idea. I get 40 a day. And sometimes I listen to the bands and I'm like, how in the hell did you get signed by this X and X label? Like, how the hell did you do that? Because you sound horrible. Like you're absolutely awful. And I listen to that, but then I listen to bands like you and I'm like, oh my God, like this is a diamond in the rough. Like I put you on playlists and I'll play your whole damn album and listen to it, and I'll get an interview and I'll push it out there and I'll tell people, hey, this is a band that you know, and I'll put you in, like, I've got a list, I do it every year, and I'll put your album cover on my list, and then halfway through the season or halfway through the year, like in July, I'll release that list of like, hey, these are the top 50 bands that I am into, and you're one of the bands that's on the list. And
cool. Thank you.
The only thing, and I say this over and over and over again, and I'm not being negative, but the only thing sucks about this is sometimes I'm like, I admit that I might not ever meet you. I might not ever see you in person play, and I may not ever do that because the industry is just the industry. I mean, you're not going to play here unless you get booked. And if you're not going to get booked, then you're not going to play here. You know, so it is what it is. You're going to play where you're wanted to play. You're going to play where someone's going to pay the money to play it, and obviously so. But your caliber of band, I'm surprised that you're not on a big festivals. Like you're not like being played in big festivals. And in Europe,
we'll make it happen. Don't worry.
I know, but
we're kidding.
In Europe, I would think that in Europe, you guys would fit perfect in Europe. Like that's what I would. Like, I'm sure, was there a different response in Europe than it is the States at all?
We definitely received a really amazing, warm welcome in Europe. But, you know, in the States as well, we get really good response. It's just a matter of getting exposed to people. And, you know, we started this band from zero, and we didn't really have connections or a lot of funds to really push this because, as you know, it takes a lot of money to market and get yourself in front of a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So we really had to put all the work in and really pay our dues. And, you know, recently, like this year, we've kind of, you know, we got good management and we got a lot of interest from several people that can really help us push this over the edge. So I think, you know, you really have to stick with it and really just create what you believe in and work really hard. And no matter what you're doing, it's gonna, you know, you're gonna find success and, you know, be rewarded for the hard work. And, you know, for us, we just want to be able to record and tour more and more places and just be able to do what we do. So we've been, you know, it's been hard, but we've been lucky, and I think that this year and the next year is going to be really, you know, important for us and breaking through. So hopefully you'll see us in all the festivals.
Hopefully. Well, thank you for doing the interview. I want you to hold on the line, but I'm going to say this, and I don't, since I started the magazine till now, I realized a lot about music and the industry and you know, as far as bands and whatever. You guys are very talented. Very, 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 very fucking talented. And you guys deserve all the best. And I feel that I'm very lucky and fortunate to talk to musicians like you because you guys are a diamond in the rough. And
thank you.
But thank you for doing the interview.
Thank you very much.
And if you hold on the line real quick, I'll talk to you real fast, but before I let you go, but thank you so much for doing the interview.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the support.
You're welcome.